One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, and welcome everybody to the NIKO Show, episode 16. I think it's episode 16, right? Let me just look at my sources here. Yep, episode 16. Yeah, I couldn't even remember that. Really, I couldn't really remember it. I'm terribly sorry about that. Well, I really couldn't help it because I just woke up from a nap, so I'm still trying to wake myself. I just said two words that didn't even make sense. So how's everybody doing? Hope you're doing okay. I'm here to give you more NIKO Show awesomeness, greatness. Great things are happening for me this week. Great big things, many big things. And obviously, of course, we have a ton of great stuff to talk about. Anything video game related, and we got, like I said, we got a bunch of cool topics to talk about today. So, before we get to that, let me just get the introduction stuff out of the way. Almost done with Persona 5. That's what's happening. I'm 76 hours in and almost to the last dungeon, so that's pretty good. Been streaming that if you've been keeping up with me. Pretty good. Yeah, almost done with that game. I think almost done with Ni no Kuni 2. I'm taking my time with it, but I think I'm almost done with like story-wise, but I'm doing a lot of side quest stuff. Great RPG game. So yeah, I'm playing 2 RPGs, and I just ordered God of War today for 32 bucks off eBay for the PS4. Yeah, the game hasn't even been out for like 2 weeks, and I got it for, let's just say, pretty close to half off. So whether he stole it or he knows the true value of games these days, I just can't wait to play God of War. So, you know, I'm the consumer. I don't care where it comes from. Just give me. Take my money. Shut up and take my money. So I can't wait to play that game. That game's going to be a ton of fun. And, yeah, you know, I think that's so far what I've been doing mainly, and then playing a little bit of Horizon Zero Dawn here and there. You know, I always have that itch for it, I guess, considering that I barely scratched the surface in it. And then, okay, so that's basically what's happened in the gaming world for me, but now let's talk about what's happened to me in real life. So, if you follow me on YouTube and you haven't heard it on the Twitch, or if you haven't heard it at all, if you haven't checked out the video, please check it out. It's on the YouTube channel. For NikoTheLegend, is I just released a book, or I just published a book a few days ago on Amazon.com called Need More Lumber. It is a series of short stories. It's only the first one, the introductory story, which would pretty much become a giant anthology or compilation of many of the short stories together once I released enough and got enough written. But it's on Amazon.com. If you like short stories, you like first-person perspective, you like dark fantasy, you like very, very casual dark fantasy that's not really heavy on the elements, but it's there. And then, yeah, it's a world that takes place in another world. Just kidding. It's a story that takes place in the same universe that my current novel that I'm writing right now, it also takes place in. Just different timeline. Not to be confusing, you know. Just want to give you something in the meantime to read, and it's really fun. I think you really fun time writing it. Really, I think it's a really good story. I think you really like the short story. Need More Lumber. It'll definitely give you your money's worth because it's 99 cents on Amazon.com, and 99 cents. 99 cents on Amazon.com to get it digitally. No paperback yet. I gotta wait till I get a book cover and everything, an official book cover. That takes a long time for some freaking reason, but it does. That's like the most difficult part is you artists, you illustrators are the most difficult fucking people I've ever dealt with in my entire life. I swear to God, you're difficult as hell. You call yourself artists and yet you overprice it. You don't even really... It's like you agree to do it, you read the story, and then you just don't know what to do. You don't know how to draw. I'm like, why are you even an artist then? If you don't want to challenge yourself, challenge yourself. It's not even too difficult of a cover that I asked for, you know, just saying in general. I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but you get the idea. It can be frustrating. So, you know, I can't wait. Can't wait anymore. I waited too long. So what you see is just temporary on Amazon.com. Like I said, just type in Nicholas Sorokin in Amazon.com or Need More Lumber. My story will be the first thing that pops up. And yeah, 99 cents digitally, and then it's free if you have a Kindle. It's free. It's free, okay? I took the sacrifice. I took the deal on making it as cheap as possible so you guys can read it. Now, if I can go completely free, I would, but I just couldn't do it. Hey, Avion, how are you? Cheers to you, mate. Hey, Avion's in. Whoops, hold on. Let me get this right. Hello, there he is. Okay, so yeah, Need More Lumber. If you love fantasy, medieval fantasy, that's your thing. But you know, you don't like it if it's so heavily emphasized on. This might be the story for you. If you just like good thriller, gripping stories, then check out Need More Lumber. You'd really like it. And I started working on the second story today. I started because now I'm going to be pumping out these stories like every 1 to 2 weeks, you know, and they're going to be a lot shorter. The first one's about 20 pages, and you know, it's fine. It's introduction. I'm trying to get you guys used to how these are going to be. But yeah, the stories afterwards are going to be a lot shorter. Definitely, I'm going to get really good at making them short, maybe like 2 to 3 pages. Just because, you know, I want to be pumping these out by, you know, try to get weekly, and then I'm going to put these stories into one big thing, and sell that. So it's going to be exciting. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good, Avion. Welcome, welcome. I don't think I've ever seen you on the NIKO show. It's always a pleasure to have a new guest. Definitely a pleasure. Usually, I have people that chat first on the Twitch, then on YouTube, which is just great to see this change of pace because I always have like 1 or 2 people that are always watching on YouTube, but they never say anything. They just do the lurking. So I appreciate you being here big time. We have much to talk about. Can't wait. NIKO show is going to be great today. And so that's what's happening with me in real life, doing that in the personal life, releasing those stories and stuff. I'm going to be releasing a video on YouTube talking about my prime focus shifting and how I'm going to be actually doing videos on the YouTube platform. If not now, then eventually it'll be coming. And let's just say I'm trimming the fat on my YouTube channel, okay? And I'm only going to be doing what I love the most. But there will be a video explaining that. Please check out the Need More Lumber video on the YouTube channel. The links are below if you're on Twitch, which is always great to see. And I really appreciate you guys for love and support. It'd be really great if you could check out my short story, Need More Lumber. I'd like to get the buzz. I'd like to get the buzz on it. You know, I really care about you guys and your imaginations, and I want it to be filled with awesomeness. And what else? Yeah. I got a big old 5K mud run happening this Saturday, which I'm gonna be doing with a friend of mine that I'm training. And if you don't know, I'm training to become a personal trainer, and right now I'm training someone unofficially during my workouts. So I'm testing her abilities and how far she's gone by doing this mud run this Saturday on Cinco de Mayo. And you will see pics on Twitter and on Facebook of us doing it, and then we're gonna celebrate Cinco de Mayo later that day. Probably get blackout drunk. No, just drew a little bit of drinking, but eat a lot of food. Cause it's gonna feel real great, especially because I'm on a calorie deficit right now. Looks like my shoulders are really sunken in. Let me sit up straight for this. So yeah, it's gonna be really exciting. What else? And then yeah, I just want to say, yeah, 312 subs, man. It was 313, you know, but you know, I was actually just about to talk about, gonna talk about that. So YouTube. I'm doing pretty good when it comes to progression on the subscriber count. I really appreciate that, guys. I mean, I was at 200 subs in January. Now I'm at 312. Now, like, that's a pretty big increase for how like small of a channel mine is. Small channel, a big heart, you know. And then, you know, I don't know what is it with you guys on Twitch. Like, I think I lose like 3 to 5 followers like every 2 weeks. I don't get you guys on Twitch. It's like, listen, I understand that Twitch might be your only entertainment thing. You don't go on YouTube. You don't have cable. Like, I don't have cable. I don't really watch too many things on YouTube. I am pretty picky on who I subscribe to. But it's like I lose Twitch followers more than I lose subscribers on YouTube. And I'm like, guys, if it's something you don't like about me on what I'm saying on Twitch or YouTube, and it's something you don't agree on, don't unfollow me. If you think I'm like the worst person ever, call me out on it, talk to me about it, but don't just flat out, if one of the things is of you disliking me over something like political or some ideology I have and you didn't like, don't just be a complete hater on the bandwagon. Just fucking confront me about it, or just understand my point of view and not try to be a hater like that, you know, if that's one of the reasons. Other than that, I think people just follow people way too much and have too many followers, too many channels that they follow that they don't even know what to do. So they just get rid of me. They trim the fat. They like to keep the most popular people on. Like I said, like if I'm not streaming the games that you subscribe to me or followed me to begin with, you're supposed to follow me for what my content offers and not from what games I'm playing, you know. You're supposed to be along with me for the ride. That's how it is. And I understand if you don't use Twitch anymore or whatever you want to call it, it's not a thing you're into. That's fine. But it happens way too frequent. And if I'm offensive or I sound condescending or facetious or anything like that, that's just who I am, people. That's just who I am. And you followed me for a reason. You subscribed to me for a reason. So now you don't go back on what you liked about me in the beginning, because nothing's changed really. So I hope you guys understand that. It's just like, I try not to let that stuff that you try not to let get to you. It is supposed to strengthen your resolve. I understand that. That's what I'm gonna do. But like I said, if you're unfollowing me on anything because of my views on life, or politically or whatever you want to call it, you know, God forbid I wear a MAGA hat or something, like, good Lord, then that's really fucked up of you to do. Like, that's just not right. You just respect free thinkers and all that stuff, you know? I got my opinion, you got your opinion, I got my facts, you got your facts. It's just how it's supposed to be. You don't agree with it, that's fine. But don't be a pussy about it and run away. That's just all it is. Don't be a coward when someone has a different opinion than you. Hear them out, understand where they came from on their opinion or their fact or their story, and then that's when you chime in and try to say your point of view and come up with a reasonable argument, compromise, you have a debate, and then you come to like I said, you come to an agreement and to a compromise. And then you grow up from it, you learn from it, okay? That's just how it is. You know, it's just amazing that it's just like you guys follow me on Twitch and all this, and then I never see you guys. I rarely ever see you guys say anything or say hello or anything. So it's like, it's not me, it's just you. It's like, don't follow someone if you're not going to be committed. That's all I'm going to say. If you're not going to put the time and effort to respect what they're doing, even though you subscribe or follow, then what's the point? Like, don't do that to somebody. That's just jacked up. Anyway, I went on a little rant than that, but you know what? I had to let it out. This is the best time to do it. The NIKO show was truth bomb, tough love, bro. Just, yeah, deal with it, dog. Anyway, I appreciate that. Thanks, Avion. I'm glad you're there for me, bud. And keep on fighting the good fight. Whatever that means. Well, it means keep being strong in school. Don't let people teach you how to be a coward. Don't let them bring down. Don't let that bring you down. Okay, so we got many stuff to talk about for games. I can't wait. It's going to be good, y'all. It's going to be good. So let's get on with the first topic. And whoa, sorry about that. Hey, if you like what music you're hearing right now, that is, let's see, multiplayer charity. Multiplayer charity, a tribute to video games. You get on, you get on iTunes for $12. And then you get it on Bandcamp for $7, or Materia Collection. So there you go. If you love your favorite music, songs, remixed and developed by other artists, gaming or whatever, gaming artists, your favorite tunes, then check that out. So anyway, without further ado, let's get the crappy IGN article out of the way. I always go to IGN. I always get one article, and this is what I'm giving to you folks. So, Xbox backward compatibility playtime nears 1 billion hours. Now, can we say that the same for Xbox One X and the Xbox itself? Maybe. I don't know. I don't play my Xbox anymore because I think Microsoft, the Xbox One, is a shitty console. In terms of their gaming lineup and their just social interaction, their aspect of it. Like, what the fuck are they doing on their console? They have no good exclusives coming out this year. Their dashboard looks like the Microsoft phone where all those tablets. Actually, it's not even that anymore. I thought that was bad, but now it's just like this some jumbled, disgusting looking mess of an interface that is just confusing and retarded. It's just complicated to get through. It's not even straightforward anymore. You can't even have pins anymore. You can't even have little tile pins on your console anymore. What the hell are they doing? And then it's bad enough when I play my PS4, it's the same menu as the PS3. It's straightforward. It's to the point. I know where to freaking go from point A to point B. On my Xbox console, good God. If besides like the Blu-ray option, like playing a game or something, I don't know where to fucking go, even with the tabs up top. It's so bad. It's so bad. Way to go, Microsoft, coming out as this social console, this nice media-esque, happy, friendly console instead of being a true gaming console. You freaking morons. God. Talking about marketing strategy 101, man. You're a gaming company that's coming out with a gaming console, and you're bragging and discussing about social interaction stuff like Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Well, Twitch is fine, but you know, you get the idea. It's like, look at what the Kinect can do. Idiots. Anyway, so Microsoft has also revealed that there are over 200 Xbox One enhanced games now. Oh, so cool. Way to go. Way to go. Too bad when the Xbox One X came out, there was no like specific game that they were really pushing the Xbox One X hardware for. Like a good launch title for the Xbox One X would have been so awesome. like Halo 6 or something. On Xbox Wire, the company is preparing for E3 2018 by noting a handful of milestones for Xbox, such as saying there are over 200 games now with Xbox One X enhancements. The nearly 1 billion hours on backwards compatibility includes original Xbox and 360 games. Last month, Microsoft released a new wave of original Xbox games like Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, personal favorite, and Jade Empire, which is a game that I still would love to play. You can check out IGN's, yeah, no, who cares about IGN? Anyway, so, yes, backwards compatibility is great. I understand that. I love backwards compatibility as well. I wish the PS4 had it, if you had like PS2 games or PlayStation 1 or 3 games. But, to me, it's not about your console having backwards compatibility. To me, it's the fact that you make good console games exclusives. Good exclusive console games. When you're a what is it, like a gaming company that can do that, or you know, a console company, and your platform has very great exclusives, then you don't need backwards compatibility. Although it's a plus, I get that, but you don't need backwards compatibility. If you make good first-party games, exclusive games, then holy shit, your console's gonna sell like hotcakes. If you make games that aren't there to screw you over with microtransactions or paywalls or season passes, your console is going to sell like fucking hotcakes. Like, look what Bloodborne did for the PS4. Look what God of War is doing. Look what Horizon Zero Dawn is doing. There are no microtransactions in those games. Right? I'm just kidding. Horizon Zero Dawn, maybe. Let's just find out for sure. But God of War does not have microtransactions. Thank God of War. Bloodborne does not. It's got a season pass or whatever. It's got DLC stock at. Let's see. I'm just going to look up Horizon Zero Dawn. Microtransactions. Let's see. Let's see. Horizon Zero Dawn will not have... Okay, cat. Oh, look, we got a cat. Say hi, cat. Say hi. Say hi to people. Okay, cat goes, meow. No, Horizon Zero Dawn will not have microtransactions. Okay, get out. Okay, that was nimble. So, Horizon Zero Dawn doesn't have microtransactions. You know what first-party exclusive games on Xbox have microtransactions? Sea of Thieves, Halo 6, Gears of War 4, Forza Horizon, Forza Motorsport. Those big first-party games all have microtransactions. So that's why your console isn't selling. And you're banking on these Xbox One X enhancements and this backwards compatibility thing. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. But that's not how you sell a console properly. Now, I get it. I love playing backwards compatible games. I love playing old games. But in order to get over the previous generation and have it have it being replaced, is to have the newest generation, the current generation, take its place. Okay, and then maybe have a few backwards compatible games just for good luck. But you probably have your old console to begin with, so it's like it doesn't matter. It's like the Switch doesn't have backwards compatibility and the PS4 doesn't have it, and they're selling like freaking hotcakes. Microsoft doesn't get it. Although it's awesome to see Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind on the original Xbox game on Xbone and Jade Empire. That's awesome as well. I'm happy for that. I really am. I like those games. Are fantastic. But it's just not going to win the race. And if you're not in the race anymore, then stop pretending like you're in the race. So, yeah, in PS4, you can buy so many backwards compatible games digitally on there. There are so many sales for the old games. I bought Red Faction 1 and 2. They're PS2 games for $1.50 each. Because I was like, these were amazing PlayStation 2 games when they came out at the time. I bought Rogue Galaxy. There was a couple other... I can't remember the other two I got, but there was a couple other backwards compatible games I got. And I'm like, holy crap, this is fine. And they're not too expensive. They're always on sale. So it's not that big of a deal. And I support Sony and those companies that made these great games. I like supporting them. It's fine. I don't mind coughing up an extra few dollars, I think that's great marketing strat. Anyway, so that's enough with that article. Xbox backward compatibility plant time nears 1 billion hours. Oh boy. Okay. Now this is a problem that I have with this next article. Google is entering the gaming business, starting with a trivia app. Yeah, that's how I feel about that. Because Google needs to go into gaming because YouTube wasn't enough for them. Facebook wasn't enough for them. All right, Bloomberg reports that Google is launching a social gaming startup called Arcade. Oh, so original. With plans to build a quiz title as its first release. The plan is to grow the company over at Area 120, a division that fosters employees' experimental ideas and brings them to market. At its helm, it's 21-year-old Michael Sayum, who was Facebook's youngest engineer at age 18 a few years ago. It's only fitting given Arcade focus on mobile gaming with friends and Sayman's background in developing the popular multiplayer word game and 4Snaps. He's also the brain behind LifeStage, a Snapchat-style app from Facebook designed for high schoolers to share photos and videos of themselves and connect with classmates. Yeah, because we need that. Because we need something more worse than fucking Snapchat. It's so stupid! Anyway, after launching it in 2016, Facebook killed it off almost exactly a year later. So, okay, Google does not own Facebook. Area 120 has previously launched Grasshopper, an app for learning the basics of coding on your phone, as well as Uptime, which lets you watch YouTube videos in sync with friends elsewhere in the world. That's pretty neat. It'll be interesting to see what sort of games make the cut there, especially with fresh talent calling the shots and with other quiz apps like HQ. Yeah, you can make apps. You can experiment with apps, but you can't experiment with ideologies like that one guy who got fired from Google for having his own opinion on how he sees the world. His opinion on equality and diversity and all that stuff. Yeah. Not those experimental ideas. Don't worry, Google will fire you in a heartbeat for having a state of mind, your own freaking backbone. When the assignment was for him to speak his mind on what he thought, and he gets fired. So hopefully this guy doesn't get fired for experimenting with certain types of games. Probably not, because you know it's a video game. But what do I think about this? Fine, you want to be a part of this gaming thing. But is a trivia app really a game? I mean, I guess so. Like, I guess when I'm thinking of a gaming business, I'm thinking of like console, like from what we've seen from like consoles and stuff, like those type of video games, but not like trivia games. I mean, there are plenty of trivia games, you know, that are video games. Like, well, I guess that Jack game. You don't know Jack? That's I think that's a trivia game. What is it called? Oh my gosh, what is it called? Fibbage, or something. That's what it's called, Fibbage. That's on there. It's a trivia game. But anyway, I mean, I guess it's okay. I appreciate this guy trying to create things to educate people's minds like that with quizzes. I don't know what the quizzes or trivias are going to be on, but I don't think that should be a thing. Like assuming that Google's entering the gaming business when they invent a trivia app. An app can't be I'm sorry. Like an app can't be a game. All right, like. It's got to be like a solid title, a solid game, not a freaking app. Oh, good Lord. People are just forgetting what it means to be a gamer and making games these days. But yeah, I think we're fine with the gaming industry today with what companies are making games and what big time companies are making games, corporate people. But, you know, whatever. Google wants, it's like the most, like, oh, man, they make so much money. I think they're like, what, #2 company in the world or #1? One of those, top 2, it's fine. Doesn't even matter. It's crazy. So, I mean, why not? I mean, it's fine being experimental like that, you know, because you never know. But, yeah, I'm not really all into Google doing that because we don't need any more video games. We don't need any other. Chrome Station 64. That's perfect. Thanks, Avion. But yeah, we don't need that anymore. It's too much. It's already the gaming industry is already congested with just too many. Just go on Steam and look at all the different games that are published on that site, on that platform. It's just ridiculous. Like, guys, stop making indie games. Stop having your freedom of speech. Just kidding. Just, you know. Just stop releasing shitty games. How about that? How about that? Take that! Experimental designers! Just kidding. Alright, next one. All right, we're back to talk about Microsoft. Xbox One game news. Why you won't want to miss Microsoft E3 conference. Oh, yay. That is a pretty cool bracelet, though. Xbox One owners will definitely want to check out Microsoft's E3 conference. Here's why. Oh, I can't wait. Let's see. If you can't read it from here, that's okay. I'll read it to you. Xbox One owners will definitely want to tune in to Microsoft's E3 conference. The Xbox One E3 conference is shaping up to be the biggest one ever. Are you serious? Some huge game announcements. Yeah, basically announcements for games that aren't coming out this year. It's really true. Hey, you guys remember that one Dragon game that was coming out made by Platinum Games? Oh, that's right. That doesn't exist anymore. Good job, Microsoft. After celebrating a successful year for the Xbox brand, Microsoft said that the upcoming conference would be filled with new games. Lol. It's a great time to be a gamer and be a part of the Team Xbox. Okay. Oh, God. I can't stand these people. Stop saying the same shit every year. That's all they say. They say the same thing. This is the year of exclusives. This is when Xbox becomes the biggest selling console of all time. We've heard it all, Microsoft. Stop saying the same crap over and over. It's a great time to be a gamer. You know what's a great time to be a gamer? When I have my PC and I can play any game I want, or my PlayStation 4. Because they got exclusive games that actually are good. Went a little derpy there. We're hard at work on exciting plans for E3, from what would be a great briefing filled with new games to the fan experience at the Microsoft Theater. This is our biggest E3 yet. Okay, like I said, that's what they always say. And we look forward to a great week for gamers. Again, thank you to the amazing Xbox community. Oh, Crackdown 3 is expected to take the center stage at the event as fans wait for the release date. Are you serious? Okay, the open world adventure game was recently given an age rating by the Brazilian ratings board, which suggests the release date will soon follow. No other details were discovered other than the Crackdown 3 has a 16+ rating. Okay, whatever. Is Halo 6. Oh, Halo 6, everybody. Remember when Halo was a fucking game franchise? Whoa, let's be excited. Barf. It's really hard to say that because I love Halo, but I don't love Halo now. I love Halo what it used to be, not what it is now. It's a disgusting franchise now. Good job, 343. Good job. Picking up the slack from Bungie. They really fucked you over. A recently uncovered job advert suggests that Halo 6 is deep in development at 343 Industries. Oh boy. The job advert calls for a lead graphics designer to work on future Halo titles. That's really funny. 343 Industries, a studio developing Halo games, is looking for a lead graphics engineer to join. Okay. Be part of a studio that values collaboration, innovative thinking, and especially passion for the player. As the graphics lead, you'll be okay, I guess this is the article. Wow. I definitely do remember when it was good. Jesus criminy. I remember spending countless hours playing Halo. I mean, of course, I say that with a grain of salt because I would play every Halo game a bunch of hours. But did I enjoy them as much as I did from the original 3? Nope, not even close. Nope, not even close. So, the fact that Crackdown... Let's talk about Crackdown 3. Okay, Crackdown 3 was an okay game when it first came out. It was Xbox's Grand Theft Auto. I get it. Except you could jump around and be kind of like a superhero. It was like if Saints Row and Grand Theft Auto had a child, Crackdown came out. And Crackdown 1 was fine. It was fun. But it wasn't like this amazing, innovative title. Okay. And then when Crackdown 2 came out, I didn't care about the franchise anymore. I just didn't give a shit. It was exactly the same game. And now we wait like how long? Like 5 years later or 6 years for Crackdown 3 because it was announced for like 4 years ago. And I understand some games are announced really early and they need time to develop. And like Breath of the Wild, God of War, PS4 took 5 years. Breath of the Wild took 4.5 years, probably 5 years too. And those games are amazing. I get it. It's fine. But this is not the same case because they keep marketing Crackdown 3 as like this golden child that's going to save Microsoft or make them have big sales. It's not going to be Crackdown 3. It's not going to be the game to save it all. You know what game I thought would actually make me want to play Xbox again? Was Sea of Thieves. But now Sea of Thieves is considered the most boring game ever because guess what? All you do is do fetch quests and you grab treasure chests, take it on your boat, take it to this destination. Hopefully you don't get bombarded by other people, but that's it. You can't get any other boats. You can't get any weapon upgrades or nothing. It's all cosmetic stuff. You can't even do anything else. There's nothing else to do. You can't build clans, no factions, nothing. Nothing. I mean, good Lord, Destiny does it better. Like, play Destiny. Don't play Sea of Thieves. Play motherfucking Destiny 2. Because there are factions, there are raids, there are loots, there's tons of loot in that game, there are a ton of content. Whatever what people say about it, there is a ton of content in Destiny 2 compared to Sea of Thieves. Look at Actman's Sea of Thieves video and just take it. When a company has to release content weekly to put the game on water to keep it afloat is retarded. Good job, Rare. Remember when you made Donkey Kong and Perfect Dark and GoldenEye and Battletoads and Banjo-Kazooie? Good job. Way to go. I'm glad you just, had to release a game that's half-baked. Good God. Way to go. So the fact that, no offense to anybody who plays Sea of Thieves, if you enjoy it, that's fine. It's just boring. I don't want to play a boring game. I'm sorry. I don't want to play a boring game. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Am I going to waste my fucking time? Especially for a $60 game of boring. Where, you know what pirate game does it well is Monkey Island and Assassin's Creed 4. Those are games with content. Those are games that you feel accomplished and like you're doing something different every time. So, if you want to play a good pirate game, play those games. Don't play Sea of Thieves, okay? Sea of Thieves is probably going to be okay or doable maybe like a year or two later. It's pulling a Halo 5, except Halo 5 had more content than Sea of Thieves, although Halo 5 was half-baked too with its lackluster modes, lack of modes, no split-screen multiplayer, barely anything to do, no Forge, no theater, no file browser. It just sucked. It just sucked. It was a half-baked. So what I'm getting at is that a lot of the Microsoft games exclusives are half-baked that come out. Crackdown 3 is probably going to be the same thing because it's just been talked about and nobody really seen. I don't think anybody's going to truly care about that game. If you're a gamer and you really love the Crackdown series, well, I feel bad for you because you should just play Grand Theft Auto 3 and actually play a game that actually took time and development, and it's still great, and it is a fantastic game with loads of content and lots of stuff to do, many hours. Now, Halo 6, don't even get me started on Halo 6. I am not excited. Halo 5 was like, okay, I think of Halo 5 like The Last Jedi for Star Wars. Halo 5 is what made me not give a shit about Halo anymore when it comes to playing the Halo franchise. I had to reminisce on the good old days in order to survive. Just like Star Wars The Last Jedi, the worst Star Wars movie I've ever fucking seen in my life made me hate how Star Wars is now. Made me not give a shit about anything that happens afterwards, like the Han Solo movie in Episode 9. I don't give a shit about that stuff anymore. I don't care. It's been killed for me. It's dead. So Sea of Thieves doesn't help with how I feel about Rareware. So yeah, Microsoft doesn't have a good track record at all, and that's why they're never going to outsell the Switch now. And PS4 now. The amount of when the Switch has been out as long as the Xbox One, compare, whenever it's had the same runtime or it had a good few years, and you compare the numbers on 3 years of Xbox compared to 3 years of the Switch is just going to dominate. It's just going to destroy Microsoft. So Microsoft isn't really going to get anywhere. Well, I just listed all the reasons, so you have to play it back. I don't want to really repeat myself, but like I said, Halo 5, the story was garbage. There was no good, I'm just going to, not to stick on the topic, but there was no good story. Halo 5 has the worst story out of all the Halo games. It is god-awful. You can do the research. The facts are there. No split-screen co-op. No lackluster modes. No content. You have to wait for updates. Microtransactions in it. It was the worst Halo game. Well, no, it wasn't the worst. Halo 4 was the worst Halo game. Halo 5 is definitely pretty damn close because I actually like the story for Halo 4. I hate the story for Halo 5. Halo 5's story was just garbage. Garbage. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic. So, oh shit. Control Z. Oh man. All right, I have to find that. Oh no, I just exit. Oh my god, I just exited out 2 articles. Okay, so anyway, Let's see here. Gotta find that news. Oh, here we go. Okay, sorry about that. Oh. Okay, I don't want to keep talking about Xbox. Let's go to the next one. 1 second. There we go. There we go. I like this article. There's the article. Okay, so this one's gonna get a little intimate, a little deep. We're going into the psyche. I think I've talked about this at least twice on the NIKO show, way in the early days of it, maybe like a couple months ago. But hey, this is stuff that's pretty important, so I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. So, can gaming help teens battle depression? Well, it's a yes and no answer. I tell you that much. Okay, let's see. Not that long of an article, so we can get through it. All right, so I read this, and then we'll go from there. Teenagers, they're complex creatures. You couldn't pay most of us to relive our teenage years, and probably with good reason. I bet if you thought back to your experience as a teen, you would get sucked into a vortex of emotions spanning the gamut. The years between 12 and 18 are when we do most of our growing hormonally, emotionally, physically, and mentally. That is very true. The expectations society puts on teenagers today are exponentially higher than we were kids. Our kids think they have to do the best at everything: academic, sports, activities, relationships. And if they fail, bad things will happen to them. Instead of pressuring our kids to excel in everything they do, we should be considering who our children are as individuals. Well, we should be encouraging their academics while also enriching them with life experience. No two children are alike. Invest in each child individually because they don't fall in the same box. You see, I have a teenager, and I'm a life coach who spends a lot of time working with parents to help navigate their relationships with their teens. That's very good. The teenage years are the ones where their kids are most likely going to start to retreat. They select the information they want to share with us. They get lost in technology rather than spending time interacting with humans. Depression and mental illnesses are being diagnosed earlier than ever. As adults and parents, we must be educated and aware of it if we want to address it in a productive and positive way, which is very true. It's very true. I've been doing a lot of research, and I found some interesting and alarming information. Did you know that the World Health Organization, WHO, has predicted that depression will move from third place as a leading cause of global burden of disease in 2004 to first place by 2030? Oh, you sad simpletons. Good job, liberals. Good job, baby boomers. Unfortunately, our teens are some of the most to suffer. However, we have a problem. There's a shortage of therapists. The National Institute of Mental... Oh, and I thought that there was too many of them. Oh, apparently not. The National Institute of Mental Health, NIMH, says only about 43% of all adults with medical illness in the United States received treatment in 2016. Expand that globally, and there are barely any opportunities at all for treatment. Uncle Sam is saying he wants you. So, how do we help our kids and ourselves during the crisis? In the last decade, psychologists and research organizations have been stretching their arms out toward the digital world. Programs introduced back in the 90s started out as a call and later a text message service supporting teens to keep them up from relapsing after the end of eating disorder treatments. Heartened by the positive outcomes of these programs, web treatment began emerging from different universities. Studies showed that internet-based programs were successful in helping patients avoid a relapse. Okay. The next jump in digital therapeutic technology was mobile interventions, of course. Mobile interventions seem to be tipping point for digital therapies. While 77% of people in the U.S. owning a smartphone today, the barrier to the technology is practically non-existent. The phone is private and always available. While we found a way to interest kids in learning more about therapies via mobile apps, the question now becomes how we know which mobile app is actually safe and will deliver the treatment it's supposed to. There aren't any evidence-based depression apps out there that are FDA approved, even though a few studies have been conducted, and even more pressing, empirically based apps struggle with retention. Clients are notorious for quitting. Oh, I'm an admin in a Discord server. I'm going to put the link to this. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah. Psych Apps, a digital mental health startup based in London, is among the tech developments aiming to find solutions through gamifying. The gaming industry generated over $1 billion in revenue last year alone. And we all know how much our teenagers love video games. Wait a minute. Sir, is that it? Wait, hold on a second. Was that the article? That had nothing to do with gaming. What a fucking douchebag. What a clickbait of a guy. What? Okay, alright. That had nothing to do with gaming helping with depression. What the hell was that? Okay, so I'll just have to go with what this guy's saying. So yeah. Let's just start. True, everything he was saying about development from ages 12 to 18 is true, but you know what? It's even more important. It's important, let's just say any of your growing years, but yes, it's definitely the most influential during your rebellious years, during your rite of passage, basically your high school years. Yes, me being 28 years old 10 years ago, yeah, definitely was feeling the hormones there, and I always remember exactly how I felt, which is pretty crazy when I was going through high school. And dealing with depression and stuff, I mean, I wasn't really, with me, I was not depressed. I hate to use like personal experience or anecdote, because that's not really going to prove my standing, because we want facts here. But I just tell you, just firsthand, I wasn't a depressed kid, although I was a shithead, like we all were, and we were rebellious. And then yeah, I was hanging out with my tribes in high school, or cliques, as you like to call them these days. Trying to find a place in society and just doing whatever, trying to make myself not be depressed and not dealing with problems at home, or trying not to do drugs or something. I was a pretty smart kid in high school. I didn't do any I didn't do any drugs in high school. I didn't smoke any pot. I didn't do any drinking. It was only a little bit, maybe when I was like 16 or 18. I can't remember exactly when I went to my first party. But yeah, didn't do any of that crazy stuff in high school though, to be honest. I did go to high school parties, obviously, but when I was like in my senior year, that's when the drinking actually started. But it wasn't anything like horrendous or crazy. I wasn't depressed or anything. I didn't let that stuff get to me. I'm not an emotional drunk like that. But anyway, besides that, let's talk about gaming. Gaming to help teen battle depression. Yeah, it could. It really could. It just depends on how much time you spend into it and what are you actually using it for. Are you using gaming as your addiction, as your drug to battle depression, your pill, your placebo effect? Then it's okay, right? It's okay to do it in doses, small doses. But you know, as you overdose on anything, it can be bad, and then the depression can sink into more sorrow. Because if you're using video games as your true escape instead of actually dealing with the problem firsthand, yeah. It's going to make you even more depressed. You're going to start living in your safe zone. You never want to come out of your room because you're depressed. You don't want to deal with it. You have social anxiety. You're afraid of the outside world, of what it can happen to you. And gaming is the safe zone. Your room, especially, is your man cave. It's your safe zone. And then gaming just takes you further into a virtual cave of a cave. So think of it as like a dream within a dream. A little bit of Inception there. But you just have to... Your parents are supposed to really sit down with you and explain why this depression is happening. The depression could come from anything. It can be from bad parenting. It can be from a bully in high school. It can be bad grades. It can be sibling rivalry. Moving too much, moving to different schools and towns. I mean, like I said, that can stem from bad parenting and all that. But it could be anything. So the point is, if you're a good friend, you don't have to be a parent, but if you're a good friend, or a good role model, or whoever, and you can actually teach people how to handle their depression, and maybe use gaming as a probable choice to help them deal with depression, because obviously you'd hang out with people that understand what you like, and you like playing a game, and you find other people to play games with you, and you want to stick with them, and you don't want to escape out of that. But you're still not dealing with the problem directly. You're still not answering the question. It's like, am I truly better? The answer is no. If you are a person who's still not leaving your room, still afraid to go out, go back to high school, you drop out and do all that crazy stuff, the snowball effect, domino effect, whatever you want to call it, and you're not dealing with the problems that in the real world, then that is a problem. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter if they reject on whoever you're challenging, whatever idea you're facing, whatever struggle you're dealing with that helps you, that goes into madness, goes into depression. You have to challenge it. Even if you fail, it doesn't matter if you get a black eye from it. If you get knocked down, you go down swinging, man. You go down swinging. You take it. You take it like a man, or you take it like a human being, like an adult. Your rite of passage is to help you find your spot in the environment. And it can happen to you in any shape or form. It doesn't matter. It can be nice, it can be bad, it can be sad. It doesn't matter. You just have to learn how to deal with it. And obviously, good parenting, good life coaching, friends, good friends, and choose your friends wisely. But choosing your friends wisely is obviously going to help from good parenting, because good parenting will teach you on who's the enemy and who's not the enemy. And then if you have an enemy and you know how to deal with it, like a bully, they teach you how to deal with it the proper way, the civilized way. The pen is mightier than the sword sometimes, So you gotta know, you gotta pick your battles, you gotta know how to deal with it. You just gotta know, man. Now, also, instead of just considering that gaming, if you're a parent or somebody who sees just anybody who sees gaming as a way to not battle depression, it's just a virtual reality. Listen, you generalize it, okay? You tell them, look, if you're gonna play these games, hey, thanks, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Take care. Thanks for everything. Hope to see you again. The NIKO Show. Cheers, mate. Oh, spilled some water. Anyway, if you're going to deal with it, let them know how they can take their gaming experience and put it into real life situations. Because with me, when I was playing games, I wasn't playing Battle Royale games. I wasn't playing like these like really like heavily emphasized multiplayer games like Call of Duty back when I was growing. I was playing games that taught me foundations in life, like Mega Man, like platforming games like Mario, Mega Man, Zelda, adventure games with Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross. I mean, all those games that had a story and dialogue and taught me moral lessons and understanding and how to understand how these people deal with social interactions and problems and stuff like that. That's what I took in my real world. Now, I didn't do it as much as a kid because, I didn't really see gaming as how I see back then, how I see it now. But still, it helped shape a lot of the stuff. And of course, I was addicted to video games. I still am, But I'm not using it. I'm not using it to battle depression. That's the thing. That's the difference right there. I'm using it for fun and for not creativity, but just for funsies and playing with friends. And yeah, I just love, because video games really defined who I am these days. But yeah, you gotta generalize what you can do with video games and how you can use it to battle depression. And if you don't take it away. If this is something that's making them happy, you don't take it away. You explain to them what they should be doing on understanding how to make it good for them and how to lessen the depression. You have to just challenge them and then have them challenge you so you can show how much passion you have and how much you really care about that person. Make them understand. Talk to them. You really don't need a therapist for this stuff. You really don't. You just need to know how to talk to somebody. You have to have the art of persuasion. You got to know how to persuade people. You gotta show them why they should stop playing it, why they should stop being depressed, why they should stop staying in their man cave or their safe zone or whatever you want to call it. They're in the box. You gotta teach them why it's okay to be outside of the box. My cat's sleeping. You just gotta make them understand. Ask them why they're doing this. Don't just take it away. Don't do that to somebody. That's really fucked up. This is something where you shouldn't cut the head off the snake, Unless they're like a serial killer or something. But, even serial killers explain why they do things. You find out their psychology, and they get to go to court for it. They get to be in a justice system. Think about it. We give serial killers a chance to speak, a chance to defend themselves, to be prosecuted, to have a defense attorney. I mean, good Lord. If we have that, then we can definitely find ways to help these kids defend themselves and have them speak their mind and understand what they're going through. Yeah, it's really, you need good role models. You need good, alpha role models. You just need that stuff. You just need that. But anyway, this article did not go, I can go on it forever because it's truly a very deep subject, and I've talked about it before. But this article had nothing to do with gaming, so fuck you, Krista, for being a clickbait little son of a gun, okay? So fuck you. That was bullshit. But anyway, I think we'll end on that note. So I hope you guys did enjoy. This has been the NIKO Show. I have been your host, NikoTheLegend. And it has been a pleasure and honor to give you the gaming news of what I found It's interesting throughout the week. Now, we didn't get through every article. I'm sorry. We didn't go through the history of Donkey Kong and then patient gaming. We'll go through it next time. Definitely. We'll talk about it next time. But thank you so much. If you like what you saw, follow me on the Twitch channel. Check me out on the YouTube channel. I got a new book published on Amazon.com. Like I said, you can find out all the details with the YouTube video and search it up on Amazon.com. Need more lumber, or my first and last name, Nicholas Sorokin. That's NIKOLASSOROKIN. So, thank you so much, everybody. It's been a pleasure. And cheers!